Thanks a lot, Leon. Hi, everyone. Really missing the fact of being in presence with all of you and sharing a real beer and big hugs. Shortly after 1 year of this darn COVID situation, it's something that we are all definitely missing. I've been very clearly told by Leon not to be salesy and not to talk too much about the company. So I'm going to share an experience from me coming from the gaming industry into the cloud and the education of cloud. Can you see my slides? Leon,
yeah, you can see them. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I think that one of the things that I was seeing, I was heading before Warner Brothers Games for International and based in London. So I've met with many of you, and I've been a Ukie member for a lot of time. And I was working everywhere in Europe, in Asia, Russia, Australia, all around the place. And one of the things that I was very surprised, spending lots of time in the UK, was the fact that there was actually a big difference between gaming development that was very, very centralized and controlled when all the other employees from Warner Brothers, for example, and other companies were able to do flexi working and starting to enjoy different opportunities of remote work. And evidently that all depends on the studios, on the IPs that you're working on the technology, if you've got a proprietary engine or if you are developing on an open platform like Unreal or Unity, for instance, and on the culture of the studio. But I was really and I had actually a chat. I know everything is recorded, so I can't go into too much detail, but I had a chat yesterday with the head of a very famous studio, and we were saying and discussing how much, back then, a couple of years back, only 2 years back, there was a very big focus of management to make sure that the developers themselves were always in the studio, that the PCs with the engine were not coming out, that nothing was grabbed regarding the IPs and all that. And the other thing that I was living through, building loads of partnership on very famous IPs across region, was that sharing engine with third party was absolutely impossible. Culturalizing games in other regions was very complex. So evidently there was a trend that was on its way, and last year, the last 12 months have really accelerated that trend. And what we've seen is only a first part of the evolution. So there has been a tactical response from studios, some strategic as well, but a tactical response which has been very much about remote connection to infrastructure, connected PCs, a bit of edge computing and communication protocols. But the real strategic move is about cloud being the core of all the future of development. I'm not talking about game operation, as my AWS colleague talked about, but much more on the development side of things. And together with Gartner, from which we are very close, we are discussing a lot about the strategic moves and how cloud is center to the future of all companies, and workspace as a service, or you may know it as desktop as a service, is also very critical and will enable better seamless collaboration. So everything has been moving from responding to a disruption to now that we've seen that the current situation is here to stay, to move to business continuity, ensuring full business continuity over time, and about security, evidently. And it's absolutely clear to everyone that there is no turning back. I mean, it's all about hybrid work. And when I mean hybrid, what I say about hybrid work is working partly remotely, partly back at the office or on premises in the short future, hopefully. and also hybrid tech, because a lot will want to have back the technology back at the studio, centralized and all that, but also the ability to work remotely. And that's where it goes into collaboration, because the technology has evolved a lot to make studios way more flexible and enable proper remote collaboration. So I've been part of the green light of many games, some of them well above $100 million. And it's all about how do you limit your risk? How do you move from CapEx into OpEx? How do you avoid, upfront investment before the first vertical slice, and be sure that you're not locking yourself for too much time? And that's where the cloud is actually a good answer, and the development is a cloud is a good answer. It's all about also about adjusting the infrastructure. We all know how many initial machines that you need at the beginning, and then you need to ramp them up when you go into full prod, moving from 20 to 200, and then back to 30 machines maybe whenever you've delivered your gold master. So what do you do with these machines? How do you make sure that the workstation are optimized during the entire period of the project? And then there is the element of the resources and the true value of companies beyond the engine, which is the human capital or the talent that is in it. And more we've seen the Gen Z or whatever new letter there is for that just said simply, no, I don't want to travel. There is some question mark about me living in this place, for instance, in the UK with Brexit. And you want, as a game studio, to attract the best talent, to have the best specialists for the different pieces. And that's where remote collaboration really enables that in a way where you can truly benefit from costs, which are optimized, because you don't have relocation costs, you don't have T&E and all these sort of things, and you can benefit from actually third parties, freelancers that have a cost that is different than the one from a full-time employee in many ways. And there is a lot of collaboration that I'm sure all of you are doing with remote country where the costs are much lower and where you can optimize again the economics of your game. And then there is this element of scaling up and down very rapidly and seamlessly, and parallelizing a lot of different tasks in order to maximize the speed of development of the game. And that's where, follow the sun strategy were already existing since a long time. I remember it at Codemaster. But now you can have different teams working in parallel directly into the same program and the same engine, using the same virtual machines in real time with any sort of lag of misunderstanding. And that's where the element of workflow is absolutely fundamental, because you can integrate every single task from external collaborators. Would they be from different facilities of the company, or would they be freelancers or third parties working on the game? So I just want to share that flexible is beautiful. You need to have a model where you can be able to collaborate instantly with everyone when you want it. Don't burden the studio by over-investing at first, ramp up and down in a flexible way. And hybrid is beautiful as well, because it's not about, modifying the way you want or you work, apologies, but it's about making sure that you've got just this ability to ramp up, ramp down, and integrate cloud services on top of your physical infrastructure that you have. So this concept of hybrid is really important. This concept of flexibility and simplicity is important. And also there is an element which is not everyone has the ability to have the best IT people able to deploy everything into the cloud world and into virtualization and this sort of things. So that's where you can get also external resources that truly help you optimize your development. And then I just want to note one thing, which is a topic of passion for me, which is that collaboration is also fantastic when you link studios together with education or with potential interns as well. And we are working at SimpleCloud a lot with big universities in game development, in art and design. And that's where, with this sort of approach, you can ensure an hands-on education of art and game for the students, giving them accessibility, giving them equality, but also you can enable, your team game professional to teach directly remotely with students. And that has a benefit for the studios because you can identify the right talent and open also partnership opportunities. Universities can be also a source of landscape art development that can be integrated in games, and we've got that in some of the schools that we are working with. So I just wanted to share that, and just one slide on who we are and what we do. So we are very much IBM centric because it's one of the best clouds that there is from a security as well as from a cost of data transfer that there is. I'm talking again about development, and SimpleCloud is a global workspace solution with absolutely unique functionalities in terms of collaboration, development. And what we've set up is the ability for studio managers to see all their employees at the same time, so gain that confidence that they are working on the right thing, and then be able to assist them remotely in real time within the VDI in 0 seconds. And we've got a global coverage. We have truly distributed teams. We've got some projects in gaming, in animation. We've got 2 very large movies from an Hollywood studio as well. We are working with first party in gaming development, and with teams which can be, for example, in one project in Brazil, Canada, the US, Austria, and Australia, all at the same time. And we've been recognized by Gartner. We are IBM and VMware champions. And in the UK, we are part of the G Cloud program and the Association of Learning Technology, with whom we collaborate very closely. So just wanting to add one thing, which is it's all about your way. And today, many of us have an infrastructure on site that has been expanded partly into the cloud. There are pure cloud solutions, there are hybrid solutions. It's all about finding the right model that is there for you, and that is there for you for the right portion of the people that work on the development of a game. So very happy to chat about that more in detail and share the unique solutions that we have. But my main message is the movement that happened in the last 12 months, apologies, it feels like 12 years, in the last 12 months is definitely here to stay. It has helped free a lot of developers, I think. And there is now a new model of collaboration across countries, across specialties, that can really benefit the creativity of the games that will come to the market. And we are very happy to help there. I hope I am on time.